Hello and welcome to Got Clutter, Get Organized in Conversation. I am really excited about this conversation because it's about friendship, but specifically best friends, because Best Friends Day is celebrated June 8th. And I wanted to talk about how friendship can keep us organized as well as inspired. I want to talk about 6 areas. So I would suggest if you listen to this, you then share this conversation with your best friend, your best buddy, or you can kind of like, you know what, put this on pause and say, call them and just kind of say, hey, let's listen to this together. So let's get started. First of all, let me just tell you, me and my best friend, we've been best friends since 8th grade. So that's 40 plus years. And in that time, we have both inspired and kept each other organized. Now, of course, I am the organizing expert, but she happens to teach people how to budget, how to better manage their money. And so, therefore, she keeps us organized in that arena as well. But let's get started with number one: accountability, partners in disguise. And you know why? Because when we share something with them, whether we want to, you know, uh, maybe save money or whether we want to get that closet organized, they actually keep us accountable by maybe checking in on us, by, you know, letting us know, hey, isn't this what you wanted to actually accomplish? And of course, just giving that nudge that we need to get to the finish line. You know, I mean, I've told this story many times when my best friend, she moved into her first house and she wanted me to organize her closet. And I came across these shoes that I knew she needed to actually let go of. Now I know why she was keeping the shoes because you have those old pair of shoes because you can maybe do a quick run to the car or do some work in the yard, but you don't want to mess up your good pair of shoes. But then I told her, I said, well, first of all, you've got slippers for the house. You actually have a pair of other sneakers you use for when you're outside in the yard work. So let's get rid of these shoes. So accountability. But also sometimes you just need that. Number two is that non-judgmental sounding board. You know, maybe you do have an outfit. You're thinking, okay, does this outfit look good? Or maybe you got that box, that mystery box of cords, and you're thinking, I need to keep them. And sometimes you need to ask somebody who is not, has any type of attachment to the stuff like, do I really look good? And I'll share with you. So I remember, and this is actually when I had invited another friend, not my best friend, and I asked, I said, these clothes, I have a problem getting rid of them. And you know what? He said, because he was a stylist, he said, you don't really look good. And you know what? Even if does come back in style, that's not something that you want to wear. And it was like, huh. And it wasn't like my feelings were hurt. It was like, I've gotten that non judgmental, information that I needed to actually let go. So it was a sounding board. Number three, inspiration through observation. And sometimes friends really allow us, specifically the best friends, allow us to live our life authentically. Yes, you may have stuff in the closet and they'll say, well, right now you're living a different life. You are no longer in corporate America. You are retired, or because of the job you do, you wear a different type of attire. Or maybe because of the things you're interested in now, those hobbies that you did in the past where you actually had all the supplies and everything, you're not interested in them. So why don't you just donate it to somebody who is? Or sometimes even, I had a conversation, excuse me, with someone who had some books. And I said, are you reading those books? Are there books that you will read over and over again? But what about those that are just collecting dust? And sometimes you need that from a friend, from a best friend. Number 4, teamwork. And this is where they can really help you because sometimes you do need some hands on help doing things. When my mother passed, and I had to go through tons of her old bills dating back, she passed in 2001. She had bills dating back into the 60s. My best friend came over with her shredder, and basically whenever I went through something and didn't want to actually keep it, she took it. I didn't have to look at it again. Once I made it the decision, she took it and she shredded. And the reason she came up with her shredder is those of us who shred a lot know that sometimes the shredders, when you're really on that, movement and in that momentum to shred, sometimes it is actually you blow out the shredder, it overheats. So therefore, you need to allow it to rest. And it was nice. I had a backup. So that's what she did. She gave me some hands on help. And of course, I've given her hands on help too when I've gone to her home and actually organized things for her, actually working side by side and saying, why are you holding on to this? Why are you keeping this? And sometimes you need that person right by your side. And of course, emotional support when letting go. Sometimes you do need someone to kind of hold your hand because it can be hard. It can be emotionally hard when you have to go through a loved one who may have passed away. Maybe that relationship just didn't work out. I still remember having a conversation with someone. They were holding on to a T-shirt, and I said, "Oh," and they said, "Well, an X, I got it when an ex gave it to me." I said, "Okay, so this is an X. When was the last time you wore it?" They said the 8th grade, and I said, "Hey, you were in a different relationship now that you're in your 40s. So therefore, it is easier for you, you know, think about letting it go. And sometimes we need that. We need somebody to allow us to, first of all, share our story, but then also give us really some time to permission. We need to say, it's okay. It is all right. You're in a new relationship. That was the 8th grade. You haven't worn it since then. So now it's time for you to let go. And also sometimes just allowing yourself to actually have new things come in your life. So that was number 5. And the last one is celebrating those small wins. The small wins. I still remember I was having a meeting with some friends, and they were all so excited to share with me their small wins. One said, guess what? I got a basket of shredding. Another one said, wait a minute, I want to show you, Janet, I want to show you my bin of stuff that I'm getting rid of in my kitchen. And I'd be able to celebrate with them. So sometimes those are the things. So I'm going to go over these again. And I just want you to think about how your friendship can help you get organized. So number 1, accountability partners in disguise. So when you share something with them, whatever you want to do, that organizing goal from your closet to your basement, or maybe just straightening up and clearing up your office space, they can help you stay on track. Number 2, non-judgmental sounding board. Yes, maybe you've kept, you have gone on and gotten advanced degrees and you're still holding on to the stuff. You have your PhD and for some reason you're still holding on to that term paper from when you got your bachelor's. And you can just kind of talk it through and, you know, they can share with you, you've got your PhD now. You don't need those things. Number 3, inspiration through observation. And it is, somebody, sometimes they can just inspire you and say, you know what? I love what you're doing. I need to do this to my space. So they can inspire you to actually get organized. Number 4, teamwork makes the task a lot easier. Sometimes you do need a little hands-on help. Sometimes it could be something as simple as you have organized and then you have things that you need to take to the next place. One, they can help you stay accountable, but 2, they can say, you know what, you need me to drive by and just kind of take you so you can make that donation now. Think about that. Number 5, emotional support when letting go. Sometimes it is hard to let things go, but they can also be there just to kind of give you a helping hand. They can give you a shoulder sometime to cry on and just allow you the release you need. Could be crying, but also helping you move forward with things. And the last thing is celebrating those small wins. Just celebrating with you, cheering you on, giving you, even sometimes, depending on time zones, you can give each other a virtual high five. So I would like to know, after listening to this conversation, how your best friend, your friend, has helped you, on your journey to getting organized, but also inspired you as well. Would love for you to post it in the comments below. So until next time, I want you to have a clutter-free day, but most of all, an organized week. And please, those of you who are listening via the audio version, don't go away, because there is more coming up in just a few.